Limmy's World of Glasgow. Tom.
If you would like to turn an ordinary, decent, law-abiding citizen into a thief, simply give them the responsibility to look after a large sum of money each and every day of their life. The money would be perfectly safe for a while, but after a week or a month or a year, a dark thought would enter that person's mind, a temptation. Go on, they would think, help yourself to a tenner. No one will notice. They trust you now. Initially, they would think, no, I mustn't do that, and the temptation would ebb away. Give it another week or so, however, and those thoughts would come back twofold. Och, come on, if you knocked that tenner last week, you would have got away with it. Go on, help yourself to 20, and sooner or later they would. And when they have helped themselves to 20, you can bet your bottom dollar they will go on to help themselves to 200 more. Well, the same goes for men of God. Each and every day you are associating with people who feel safe with you. They feel that although they may not even know your first name, they trust you. But unlike trusting you with merely their money, they are trusting you with their life. Just as the man who is responsible for guarding the money is tempted to steal, the man of God who is responsible for guarding the safety of people is tempted to murder. It is an occupational hazard. The more people feel that you are harmless, the greater your temptation to do them harm. Which made me wonder, if people see me, a common or garden man of God, as harmless, how must people feel about Jehovah's Witnesses? For they are surely the most apparently harmless Christian denomination on the planet. You know how we all are with them. Look out, there's that Jehovah's Witness coming to the door. Don't answer it, I can't stand them. But, of course, you go around speaking about another religious group in that way, and you would be hounded. Oh, see me, you would say. I can't stand Muslims. They do my nutting. You would be labelled Islamophobic, even racist. Or if you were to say, look out, here comes a Jew. I hate them. I hate Jews. You would be branded an anti-Semite, even a neo-Nazi. But you could go on national TV and say, those Jehovah's Witnesses aren't half annoying, aren't they? How much can we not stand them, folks? You would get a round of applause and not one complaint written in to the station. That is because they are laughable, they are a joke, they are weak. If you were to slap one of their faces, they would turn the other cheek so that you could slap that one as well. Just as Christ himself recommended on the Mount. Therefore, I concluded, a Jehovah's Witness must feel the temptation to murder at least 12 times more than I do, and must therefore have cultivated a heart darker than 3 o'clock in the morning. They must have murder in mind 24/7, as they say. I was pleased that I had given this the thought it required, for it would help me in future to watch my back when that lot were around. Unfortunately, though, I only came to the conclusion that I have explained while I was listening to a Jehovah's Witness that I had invited into my home. When I let him in, I was initially afraid for his safety, but now, with him sitting in my living room, the closest person to the door, and with me having come to my conclusion, it turned out it was my safety I was afraid for. As he spoke to me about his particular beliefs and how they differed from mine, I looked around my living room, pretending that I was thinking about what he was saying. But I was, in fact, looking for potential weapons that he could get to first, which included an ashtray, the cup of hot tea I brewed him, and whatever he had in his briefcase sitting next to him. Taking all of that into account, I had to almost play a game of scissors, paper, stone in my head. His cup of tea would beat my glass of water. The marble globe sitting on the table to my left would beat his ashtray. But whatever he has in his briefcase could beat everything in this whole room. As the witness talked on, I made a prayer in my head. Jesus, I thought, what are you doing, bringing this guy into my home? Whose side are you on, anyway? Tell him to get out. But whatever you do, don't tell him I told you, or it's curtains for me. I finished my prayer and kept my eyes on the Jehovah's Witness, trying to gauge in his eyes if he was receiving a message from Christ, telling him to hop it. But there was no reaction if he did receive a message. He just kept on talking, no doubt a technique to fatigue me, to make me less alert, which he would capitalize on with who knows what maneuver. I stood up and said, "You're going to have to excuse me. I need to go to the bathroom. Do you mind?" He said, "No, not at all, not at all." I said, "Honestly, I'm just going to the toilet." because I didn't want to arouse his suspicion. Any of that nonsense, and he might have finished me off there and then. I walked out of the living room, into the hall, always looking slightly to the side in case he crept up on me, and all the way until I was in the toilet, with the door locked. "Get out!" I shouted. "Get out of my house! I know why you are here!" I heard him walk the length of the hall, up to the toilet door, and he said, "I'm sorry, what did you say? Are you all right in there?" I shouted, "Don't give me it, you! Do you think I came up the Clyde in a banana boat? You have a minute to get out of my house, or I will open the toilet window and cry for help. Go now, before I have you caged." He said, "I don't know what has brought this on, but I am sorry. Here," and I heard something drop to the floor. "I've left a copy of Awake and Watchtower free of charge. Again, I'm sorry." I heard footsteps walk to the front door, followed by the sounds of the door opening and closing. "Don't go out just yet, Tom," I thought. "It could be a trap." For all you know, he tiptoed back to the kitchen, picked up a kitchen knife, and is standing outside this door at this very moment, thirsty for your blood. I climbed into my bath, leaned back and decided to wait it out, which I did for 4 hours. After that time, I dismantled the mirror from the bathroom wall and held it aloft in one hand as I opened the door with the other, ready to crash it into the head of the witness if he presented an attack. But fortunately, he had gone. I spent the remainder of the evening reading both The Watchtower and Awake back to front, cover to cover, and it only reinforced what I already knew. You will not find a more limp-wristed, all-inclusive, easy come, easy go Christian denomination on the planet. Purest evil.